Hello, I'm a student here, and, obviously this is about the faculty being able to carry weapons, and in my opinion, that's just fine. I mean, if they've gone through the CCW class, if they're taking the responsibility upon themselves, to protect themselves, to protect the people in their class from what they fear, what could be a threat, then that's fine by me. They've, thought it out, they've decided to make that choice. You don't plan on getting an accident, yet you have car insurance. You don't plan on having a fire at your house, but you usually have a fire extinguisher, smoke alarms. If you're going out, you don't put in just as much gas as you need for that trip, and then, you have to do something else, you have to put more gas in. No, you plan ahead. And if these professors are willing to plan ahead, that's fine by me. As far as the Second Amendment, specifically relating to just the militia, well, the Heller case pretty much struck that down last year, so I'm not even going to talk about that. As far as restrictions on the Second Amendment, most of those were racist laws to prevent freed blacks after the Civil War from owning firearms. So I really don't see how any of that factors into it. What really matters is that someone in the faculty, if they've gone through the class and they decide that they want to carry a firearm, and they want to protect me, and they want to decide to protect themselves, and if they feel what they're doing is going to make the college safer, then by all means let them do it. It's legal everywhere else in the state for the most part, except for their classroom, except for this campus. So, that's what I think about that.
Next is Brian Vincent.
Thanks. I'd just like to make a couple points. I don't have an exact number, but the total number of deaths from all school-related shootings in the United States ever is at most a few hundred people. And I don't have a specific statistic about this either. Sorry, I didn't do my homework before coming. But the number of people who have died from gun-related accidents is, I'm sure, somewhere in the several thousands. The thing is, school shootings are something that we hear about a lot on TV or in the newspaper or whatever, specifically because they're so rare, because they're such an abnormal, bizarre occurrence, that, if there was a newspaper story every time someone dies in a car accident, people would be sick of reading about that. But since school shootings are something that happens very rarely, they're something that we don't even hardly need to worry about. You're probably more likely to die being struck by lightning or killed by a terrorist or something than you are to die in a school shooting. So really what we need to be asking ourselves is, besides this rare, bizarre occurrence that almost never happens, are we safer with professors having guns or not having guns? And the number of people who die from gun-related accidents would suggest that we're not safer. Just because someone's a professor doesn't mean they're any more or less crazy than anyone else. It probably just means that they're intelligent and good at whatever their field is. Doesn't mean we trust them to protect us. Doesn't mean that's their job or they should even be suggested that that be their responsibility. It just means they're smart, and smart doesn't necessarily mean not crazy. And while I agree that firearm education would be beneficial for everyone in society, I don't feel that just because someone has some education, that means they're going to be completely safe with a firearm. Perhaps mandatory firearm education would be a good idea, but that's really a separate issue from whether to allow people to bring guns on campus. So that concludes my speech. Thank you.
Yeah, buddy. Go get us.
My name is Cody McKenzie. I'm a junior here at the University of Arizona. Former NRA Association President Charlton Heston said there are no good guns, there are no bad guns. Any gun in the hand of a bad man is a bad thing. Any gun in the hand of a decent person is no threat to anybody except bad people. Students have a right to be protected on this campus. In 2001, one man murdered 32 innocent people in Virginia Tech between 7:15 a.m. and 9:51 a.m. Columbine High School in 99, there were 12 killed. Shooting started at 11:14 a.m. and stopped at 12:08. Yet the SWAT team did not enter until 1:09. Now at Pearl High School, there were 2 people killed and 7 injured. The incident was stopped by a principal who retrieved a handgun from his car and subdued the shooter. Similar case with Appalachian State, where 3 were killed, 3 injured. 2 students with guns stopped the incident. When seconds count, the police are minutes away. There have been 11 colleges to allow concealed carry, and in the combined 88 semesters since this has been allowed, there has not been any acts of gun violence, including suicide, nor has there been any gun accidents or gun theft on these campuses. So to all you people that say that it's, you know, a system of, or it's something that we need to worry about due to accidents, there's your statistics showing it right there that it's not. I'm not going to speak for long. The one thing I want to leave you with is that in January 2006, a bill was put forth much like this one to allow concealed carry on campus in Virginia. After much opposition, such as this forum that we're holding here, and the bill that's being proposed, the bill was defeated. Virginia Tech spokesman Larry Hinker praised the defeat of the bill, stating, "I am sure the university community is appreciative of the General Assembly's action because this will help parents, students, faculty, and visitors feel safe on our campus." A year later, 32 people were killed by one man in the Virginia Tech massacre. How many lives could have been saved if just one professor would have been armed? Think about this when you're making this decision. Chew this over in your head and realize that the only way for us to be protected is for us to protect ourselves. Thank you.
Next, we have Jacob Shoemaker.